Hi, this is Jeff Lazarto, Upridge's Oracle Practice Leader. And today I want to talk a little bit about Oracle and a couple things going on there with their leadership succession changes with two new co-CEOs announced today, as well as their earnings from a couple of weeks ago. So in the earnings, and I won't go into every part of the earnings, you've got other people, other places you can go to look for that information financially. But obviously AI is what's driving everything with Oracle, okay? These large tech companies, OpenAI, XAI, Meta, NVIDIA, AMD, and others, that are AI technology companies, right? They're building the next generation of AI. So they need these huge gigawatt-scale GPU superclusters, which goes back to Oracle's OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. And that's what's taking off. That's what's making the stock take off, is these huge investments long-term with respect to Oracle. So they have big areas as far as AI training right now, and these GPU centric superclusters can train the models faster and cheaper, according to Oracle. And you're seeing it because these big tech companies, they're selecting Oracle. They have all this demand they need, all this training they need to do, and they're selecting Oracle for a reason, right? Obviously, they're selecting them based on the fact of the efficiency at which Oracle can work and the cost. If it can process data twice as fast as Larry Ellison was saying, then they're effectively half the cost for customers. So even though these are these huge $100 billion deals in some cases, over the course of many years, obviously, they're selecting Oracle. So Oracle's become the de facto standard, as it were, for AI training, and then ultimately for inferencing. So inferencing isn't even really happened yet. It's the larger opportunity, according to Larry Ellison. He says it's going to dwarf AI training. So this is really where AI is applied to running businesses, governments, processes. So anything from manufacturing to healthcare to finance, legal, sales, marketing, etc. All the business tasks that are done, these AI agents will eventually be able to do those tasks. And so the way I kind of look at it is, it's like AI is going to college right now, right? It's being trained on these large language models that are learning different types of tasks depending on what they're developing. And then once they get trained on that, which is basically going to be based on public data, then they graduate college, so to speak, and go to work for companies, right? So companies will actually buy these AI agents, right? They'll purchase them just like in their regular subscription, etc. And now they'll get to also train them on their own company data, right? So however they're using the AI within their organization, they'll have all their own enterprise data to then upload and train into those AI models, and then have AI perform and actually do work for them. And that's where Larry Ellison's saying is the much bigger market there. And it's going to need a ton of data. It's going to need processing capacity. You're going to need databases that work well, and that's where Oracle comes in with the AI database. So Larry Ellison talked about how it's vectorized so that all that data can be understood by the AI models that exist out there. There's over, I think, 25 or so. He says it works with all of them. And so companies are looking for ways to say, I need my data to be secure, right? I need to maintain strict privacy and bridge that trust gap, that I can share this information with these AI platforms and yet still keep it private. And I can get the learning that I need from it and enable myself to tie that back into the business and get that performance out. So that's kind of the next phase that I don't think a lot of people overall are aware of, just how big that opportunity is and how much more that's going to scale on OCI. And if these are the big tech companies that are building AI agents and applications are selecting Oracle as that infrastructure partner, well, that's a pretty glowing endorsement, right? That these other companies, when they start using AI internally for their businesses in the future, they might want to say, well, I probably want to use Oracle too, since that's what these tech companies use to build these applications. Maybe I should be having my data with Oracle. So I think that's a big play there as well for Oracle. And it's something we'll just see how it plays out over the years. But these numbers that Oracle was projecting is what threw Wall Street into a tizzy. They didn't really know how to handle this. Not that long ago, just Oracle was like a $50 billion annual revenue company. Okay, this is just for OCI. They're projected their growth is $18 billion just for OCI this year, and then rising to $32 billion, $73 billion, $114 billion, and $144 billion by fiscal year 30. That's what Oracle stated in their earnings. Even today, they reinforced or reconfirmed their projections. And that's where Wall Street didn't even know how to handle this. And you started seeing all of these different valuations coming out. And the stock obviously skyrocketing And Ellison actually passed Elon Musk briefly as the wealthiest person in the world, and Oracle stock pulled back quite a little bit after that, but not too much. Now it's back up on the rise again. But that's what's driving it. And Oracle kind of being this de facto standard, as it were, for AI training and inferencing. So that's on the tech side of the business, and that's what's taking off. But eventually you're going to see this on the application side as well. So when you look at Oracle's AI strategy, it's AI training, it's going to be AI inferencing. Behind all of that is the Oracle database, the AI database they're calling it, which can vectorize that information, all that company data, keep it secure, and work with any of these AI models that any customer wants to use. It can work with any of them. It'll keep the data secure and private, which is important. And then on top of that, you've got the application side of the business. And Oracle's using AI application generators at this point. They've developed AI application generators that then works in building its SaaS products, which is really, as Ellison was talking about, it's basically a network of AI agents that are linked with different workflows. So it's not traditional hand-coded software. So now you've got AI application generators developing networks of AI agents that'll go to work for companies. So Oracle has both parts of it, which is what's interesting, right? They are an infrastructure company, which is really, I think, the core of what they were. When you think about when Ellison started Oracle and the database side of things, right? They're really more that tech company. And then they acquired all of their applications, but they've since invested a lot in that, and brought over a lot of different developers and leaders that are working in that area. And so they really have taken off with Fusion. It took a while to get sticky, but that's what's really growing, as well as the applications and the AI agents within these specific industries. They're going to be able to solve challenges. At least that's the promise of what Oracle is offering. And on top of that, the last piece is their multi-cloud kind of private cloud options. So you can have Oracle, the public cloud, regional cloud, which is in the public offering. You can have cloud at customer, right, which is basically you own everything, but Oracle manages it for you behind your firewall. You even have Oracle database that you can get in different cloud services. So if you're not using Oracle Cloud, but using Azure, AWS, GCP, with those reseller agreements, you can actually get Oracle database in those cloud providers. So they're really tackling it in many different fronts, and that's what's really garnered all this excitement around Oracle. Okay, on top of that, now you start looking at some of the leadership, and we knew some things had to change. I mean, Larry Ellison's in his early 80s. Safra's been there for a while. Safra Catz for a long time. We're always wondering who's going to step up, and there was kind of a lot of EVPs reporting into Safra. And I think from everything that happened out, we know there was two people that were named presidents without much fanfare. It was just kind of more on their website. And now they've both been named today as co-CEOs. Okay, and that's Clay Magouyrk, and he is really on the tech side of things in developing AI with OCI. And he's got a ton of experience in that area, and he's really made his mark at Oracle with what he's developed there on the engineering team, in developing OCI Gen2, just a high performance platform that powers everything that they have with their public cloud data centers, their gigawatt-scale AI training data centers, etc. So that's really been under his leadership, and he's being rewarded with that. And then Mike Sicilia is the other individual, is also going to be a co-CEO. I guess they're just going to call themselves, each one will call themselves a CEO. We'll see how that plays out. And his background experience, again, he's a tech person too. It's within Oracle Industries, and the experience he has in the vertical applications and applying AI there. So he originally came back from Primavera Systems. I think Clay originally was at AWS way back when. But it's interesting. So he's going to be more on the application side, the way I see things. So I like the moves of Oracle here for many reasons. One is I like the fact that you have tech people that are visionaries that are leading both sides of their business now, and they're younger, right? Clay Magouyrk, I think, is only 39. Mike Sicilia, I believe, is 51, somewhere in that area. So you've got people that are hungry. They understand AI. They have a vision for the future. They've earned their keep, as it were, or paid their dues in providing a lot of value and growth to Oracle on the tech side as well as on the app side. And now they're ones I would see as people that could be visionaries versus having maybe a salesperson that sometimes people get promoted into these roles. You need obviously great sales and marketing, but I like it a lot more with a tech company that has someone that really understands technology and understands the demand that's in the market and can map that there. You think about any of the big tech companies that have grown, it's always been someone that is more that type of visionary, like a Larry Ellison, right? Like a Steve Jobs, etc. So I like those moves there. We'll see how this plays out with the co-CEO structure. I mean, they've done it before with Mark Hurd and Safra Katz. We'll see how this plays out, and Safra's getting bumped up, as it were, to the executive vice chair role. Actually, I think I said it wrong earlier. So really, right there behind Ellison as the chair role on the board, and that makes perfect sense to do that. What I think is going to be interesting too is that below that, right? So you had Mark Hura, who is on the tech side in sales, kind of an EVP on the technology side. He's now been promoted. He was EVP of Oracle North America sales, I believe, reported directly to Safra. Now he's going to become the president of global field operations. Doesn't say who he's reporting to, so we haven't seen that full reporting structure. But I think that's interesting. Mark's done very well in that area, probably very deserving of the promotion. I don't know if he's really going to be part of leading all of sales for Oracle, so to speak. We'll see how that plays out. And then Doug Kering, he's the current EVP of Ops, and he's being promoted to a principal financial officer. Don't know exactly what that role is going to entail there. Sounds like it's going to be more internal, but I do believe Mark here to be much more client-facing. It'll be interesting to see how client-facing from a sales perspective, Mike Sicilia or Clay, if they get involved in that area as well. So I do expect there to be more announcements, but this aligns with Oracle's structure when you think about them, an infrastructure company and an application company, and now you've got two tech leaders that understand AI that are leading both those practices as CEOs or co-CEOs. So very interesting for Oracle. I think it's exciting for clients as well to see how this plays out. And if you're looking at Oracle, I think there's tremendous opportunities there in negotiating good deals, in setting yourself up in a strong position for the future. And your relationship with Oracle, if that's where you're going in that direction, matters even more in getting that relationship right. This is huge for Oracle as far as their cloud strategy, their AI strategy rather, and how it's going to play out. And I think clients have a great opportunity. If Oracle is someone you want, if that's the technology you want for your organization, and you've got a great opportunity to start developing strong relationships and getting strong contracts with Oracle. Because with these announcements that they have and these numbers, there's a lot of pressure for Oracle to deliver. I think they have a lot of strength to deliver. I think they can deliver, but nonetheless, you still have to deliver. And so I think that creates great opportunity for customers, current Oracle customers, as well as potential Oracle customers that might not be customers today. I think the last thing I'd say is, and this is more for the current install base, you can see where Oracle's going, right? They can't do the forced migration that SAP is doing, but where Oracle is really going is to say, if you want to get the benefits of AI, right, that's all going to be cloud. You're not going to get that staying on PeopleSoft and JD Edwards, et cetera. You're going to have to go on the applications. You're going to have to go to Fusion at some point if you want to get the benefits of that. And on the tech side, it's really going to be getting OCI. So you can still have your Oracle database. You can bring your own license over to Oracle, over to OCI. So you don't lose those licenses or those investments you've made. But it is about creating that path through technology and through value that Oracle's going to be pushing to say, here's why, to their install base, why you should migrate to cloud. And I expect to see a much stronger push from that from Oracle in the coming years. Once they kind of get their arms around all of that, I think, and get maybe a better go-to-market strategy with it, but really pressuring, not so much pressuring, but having conversations with their customers of saying, here's what AI can do for you. Let us come in and talk to you about it, and then find the right path to get their install base to migrate over to Oracle's cloud. I think it's a compelling story. And if you are interested in talking more about it, in understanding more what Oracle's doing and how it can apply to your organization, as well as what's the best approach in meeting with Oracle, in negotiating with Oracle. It's not just the negotiation. It's actually having Oracle come in and understanding where they're going with AI, where they're going in infrastructure, their applications, how it can benefit your business. And before you have those conversations, it's always the clients that do the best are the ones that come in and say, let's talk about our overall Oracle strategy first, and have a strategy before we start inviting Oracle in to present about their capabilities. Anyway, appreciate you listening. Any comments or questions, please reach out to Upper Edge. More than happy to talk to people. Take care.